Hello my lovelies, welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. For this week's yin yoga class, we have a sequence to help you work towards your splits. And we're going to be focusing on both middle and front splits. So improving flexibility in the front of the hips, hamstrings, and the inner hips as well. So if this is just a tight area for you in the lower body around the hip area, then this is going to be a wonderful class. Because it's a yin yoga class, we're going to be holding the poses for a little bit longer than we would in a normal yoga class. This allows us to get past the superficial layers of the muscle and further down into the connective tissues. Gives time for our stretch receptors in the brain to turn off and the muscles to relax. So this is a practice and a yoga style that really does improve our flexibility. Although it can be relaxing, it's also quite challenging for the mind, because the mind has to learn to quieten down and be okay with feeling a little bit uncomfortable. We don't want any pain, but we want to push to that point where we feel the edge of the stretch. If you have blocks, then grab them. They will definitely come in handy. We're not going to be holding the splits in this class, because in yin yoga is all about relaxing into the pose. And if we're not quite there in our splits yet, that can be a bit of a challenge. So maybe you play around with coming into your full splits after this sequence. Grab your mat and we will go and get started. So we are going to begin by just taking a few rounds of the breath in our child's pose, just to start to bring awareness and attention down to the lower body, into the hip area. So just walking those hands out in front, knees are open to the edge, the big toes are pointing in towards each other. And as you're here, just let your hips sink down towards the heels, scanning the body, and just letting your breath flow into any areas of tightness, letting the body soften with each breath here. And we want to connect to the breath, so bring all of your awareness to the inhale and to the exhale. When we exhale, naturally the body relaxes. So with every exhale that you take during this practice, we want to stay conscious and aware and really work to let go of the body, release tension, release stress from the muscles. See if you can do this any more in your child's pose. See if there's any more tension that you can let go from the body. And slowly come forward on your next inhale, planting the right foot between the hands. We're going to take it into our lunge for our first yin posture. So you can bring hands onto blocks, or just let the hands frame the right foot. Knee is over the ankle, hips are gently pressing forwards. And we want to relax here as much as we can. So as you exhale, let the crown of the head drop down. Let the chin draw in towards the chest. And connect back to that breath. Breathe into any tightness, breathe into any discomfort in the hips. Just keep focusing on relaxing the lower body, seeing how much you can allow all of the muscles around the hips and in the back just to soften with every breath. And when the mind wanders from the mat, from the present moment, just guide it back to the body, to all the sensations arising and to the flow of breath. Seeing if you can let go any more into this pose, not forcing, just by relaxing. And then slowly coming up, you can either keep your hands onto blocks or keep the hands as they are. We're going to slowly extend the hips back into half splits. This is quite a hard yin pose to hold. So we're going to take our time here. We want to lift onto the right heel and draw the right toes in towards us. Left hip draws forward and the right hip pulls back. And we're just going to stay open in the chest for a little bit, working to draw the belly towards the thigh, tilting the tailbone up. Maybe you can close the eyes and just find a few rounds of the breath, bringing all of your awareness into the back of your right leg. And then on your next exhale, see if you can fold, keeping this length through the spine. So as you exhale, you draw the belly closer towards the thigh, then the chest, then the head. Completely folding and melting the upper body over the right leg. Crown of the head drops and chin tucks in towards the chest. And find your flow of breath here. Use the breath to help you. So maybe you feel the body easing up on the inhale and sinking back down on the exhale. Just give the body time here. Accept whatever it is. See if on those exhales you can let your body melt any further over the right leg, while still keeping those hips square. Slowly bending into the front knee, and then just shake your right leg all the way out behind you. Well done. Step forward with the left. Setting up back into our low lunge. So hands can be on blocks or they just frame the left foot. Exhale, let the spine round, chin tucks in towards the chest. And just work to relax with every breath out. Soften the hips, soften the head, even let go of any tension that you might be holding in the face. Just keep all of your attention on the physical body and on the breath. For the majority of our day, all of our attention and our focus is turned outwards, focusing on that external world. So take this time to turn inwards and give your body the awareness that it deserves. Keep relaxing with every exhale out. Maybe you can relax a little further into the upper body. Maybe you can soften the hips a little more. Breathe into any discomfort. Be okay with feeling a little uncomfortable. And slowly drawing back, taking it into our half splits on our left side. So not the easiest yin pose to hold. Left hip gently pulls back as the right hip draws forward. If you can, left toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. We're just going to open the chest. So we're working to lift the tailbone up and draw the belly closer towards the thigh. Breathe into any tightness in the back of the left leg. See if you can keep this length through the spine as you exhale, fold. Make no effort to keep the upper body lifted, just round. And keep breathing into the body, softening with the exhale. When we stay with the edge of the stretch, this is where that flexibility really improves, where we start to really lengthen the muscles. Maybe still moving with the breath, ease off as you inhale. Let the pose deepen as you exhale, so slightly oscillating the body. And this is the nice thing about Yin Yoga. We're trying to find that stillness in the mind. We don't have to necessarily be still like a statue in the physical body. I love to bring really subtle movements in, just easing into the body, into the pose. And slowly bending into that left knee, well done. Draw the left leg back and shake it out. And we're going to turn sideways onto the mat. If you're on a wooden floor, you can roll in the edges. We're going to take it into our froggy pose. So this is a wonderful yin pose for our middle splits. You can support your forehead onto a block or onto a cushion. Just keep the knees in line with the hips and slide them out as far as the body will allow. Dropping down to the forearms, feet in line with the knees, toes turned out. Maybe you can support the upper body. And I would really encourage you to support the upper body so that we can start to allow for relaxation. Quite often we don't feel a stretch here until we allow the lower body to soften. I actually like to keep movement going here. It's a really gently, just tiny movement of almost not even noticeable to the eye, just slightly rocking forward and backwards. And as you do this, you can still soften the body. Relax the face. Soften the hips and the glutes. Relax the belly. Bring all of your awareness down to that hip area, encouraging the energy to flow. Just give the body a little bit of time here. See if you can relax any further. Notice if tension has crept back in and soften back through the body again. Take one final breath here. And then to come out of this pose, bring the feet together first. Coming back up onto the hands and then slowly draw the knees in. And you might have to give them a shake out. We're going to come all the way around and open into our straddle. And so we did our froggy pose just to help make our straddle a little easier. So this is a wonderful pose to do to work in towards our middle splits again. So just take a little bit of time to settle into this pose. I like to have a little wiggle from side to side, forward and backwards. Trying to tilt the top of the hips forward and trying to tilt the tailbone behind. going to take a lot of time here. So you can have your cushions, you can have your blocks to support the forehead. You might have to stack them up quite high. This is one of my favorite yin poses, so it's in a lot of my yin classes. Just work down as far as you can. Don't worry about pulling your forehead towards the floor. Try and focus on relaxing and drawing the belly down towards the mat. So you can stay open through the chest. But if you can support the forehead, and then you can let everything in the upper body relax. If you don't have anything to rest the forehead on, something that I like to do is just bring the palms together and rest the forehead onto the thumbs. So a little bit of gentle pressure onto the third eye, helping you turn inwards. And bring awareness into the body, scanning it and noticing where it's holding tightness. Notice what's stopping you from folding forward. And just breathe into those spaces. Visualize them softening with every exhale. And when the mind wanders, just guide it back. And of course, if things start to release in the body, you can work further down into your fold. Keep relaxing, not forcing, just softening everything in the body. Make no effort to keep it lifted. Just find a few more rounds of the breath, being conscious and aware of each one. And slowly let the inhale walk you back up. Just pause and really slowly bring the legs back together. Maybe give them a little shake out. Gently cross them and just find a seated position. Let the hands rest onto the tops of the knees. Just draw in a big inhale, lengthen the spine and relax into the exhale. Just notice how you feel after this yin practice, after taking this time out. Maybe more open in the lower body, maybe calmer in the mind. Although we've been working into poses to help with our splits, we've also been balancing out our fast-paced, active yang energy with our calm yin. Set an intention to keep this calm yin energy in the body. Let it join you off the mat. And then bring the hands to the heart center. Send yourself thanks and gratitude for taking this time out, dedicating it to the physical body, but also the mind. Bow the head to the heart. Namaste.